Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Gabby, and I have begun a journey of detailing cars. This is actually only the fourth car I have ever detailed, so I am still learning and still figuring out the best ways to do things. So any suggestions or tips you guys have are totally welcome. Just let me know down in the comments. But I do think I have figured out a pretty good process so far. So my general rule of thumb is working top to bottom. I tested out this idea on my last detail and it worked out really well. There were just a couple minor things I wanted to adjust when I went into this car, which by the way is a 2006 Saturn Vue. It is actually my grandparents' car. They recently decided that they wanted to go ahead and try and sell it, and so I told them that I would detail it and take a bunch of pictures of it after the detail and list it for them to try and get it sold. Spoiler alert, I listed it the day after I finished detailing and it sold the very next morning. So that worked out really great for them. The car wasn't in too bad of shape when I got it. My grandpa took really good care of it, so it wasn't a complete disaster or anything, but it definitely needed a good detailing so that it looked brand new for the person who bought it. So jumping right into the cleaning portion, the first thing I did was pressure wash out all of the door jambs and seams. This is a really quick way to spray out all of that buildup. And as long as you're careful and don't spray your pressure washer directly into your car, this is a really good way to get all that junk out of there really quickly. Next up, I went ahead and removed all of my grandparents' personal belongings. They really didn't have a lot of garbage in the car. They pulled out a lot of stuff before they gave me the car to clean, so there wasn't a lot to do, but I just went ahead and pulled out all the extra blankets and things in the glove compartment, and then I got to vacuuming. There was actually 2 layers of floor mats everywhere in this car. Like I said, my grandpa was really good about keeping his car clean, so he had the all-weather floor mats and then just the regular carpet floor mats. So the actual car carpets were in really great condition and didn't require a lot of extracting or anything. So I went ahead and made the call to not remove any of the seats. I had wanted to originally to be able to clean the seats a lot easier, but it just seemed like a waste of time because the under the seat area was really not dirty at all. So while I was vacuuming, I decided to pull up this little back panel to see what was under there, and I'm super glad I did because when I pulled it up, the spare tire area was covered in little dusty dirt particles. So I'm really glad I got in there and cleaned all that up. All right, so my first order of business as far as the floor mats go was to pressure wash all of them so they could spend the rest of the day drying. I know a lot of you guys keep telling me in the comments that after I do the pressure washing, I should extract out the water, but I counter you with this. I hang them all vertically, and within an hour, they have drip dried, and all I have to do is extract the very bottom area where all the water was dripping out. And to me, that seems a lot faster and just a different tactic to use. Take it or leave it. It works really well for me. So as far as time goes, that is one area where I can cut out a little bit of extra time and not have to sit there and extract all of these and just let them drip dry for an hour or so. Also, I don't know if you guys noticed, but when I did the initial pressure wash on this floor mat, there was already loads of soap like dried inside of it. I meant to ask my grandpa, but he must have tried to clean it with some carpet cleaner or something because it was just super foamy right out the gate. So I went ahead and used that to do an initial clean on the carpet, but I did decide to go ahead and use my own cleaner for a second round of cleaning on this floor mat just to make sure it was all freshened up. Alrighty, so after all of those initial steps are finished, I am officially starting my top-down method. So I gave the headliner a look over, and there weren't a lot of things on the headliner, which was nice, so I just did a couple spot treatment areas and then wiped down all the plastic on there and then slowly worked my way down. I also have been doing this back to front method, so I tend to start in the trunk and then move to the back seat and finish with the front seat, which I'm starting to question that method because I'd say my least favorite part of detailing is detailing the dash with all of the buttons and the steering wheel and all of that. Like, I really don't look forward to that part. So maybe next time I'll start in the front and work my way to the trunk. But for this time, I started in the trunk and worked my way forward. One adjustment I did make from my last detail was I decided to not do any of the plastic dressing or the leather conditioners until the very, very last step. I noticed that every time I did any plastic dressing or leather conditioner as I was going, I would find myself needing to go back to a place for something or grabbing it or leaving little fingerprints. And so I thought the best course of action would be to clean absolutely everything first, and then right when I was ready to finish, go through the entire car and do like the final coating on everything. And I think I'm going to stick with that method because it worked out really well and it cut out a lot of repeating steps for me. This way I could crawl around through the car and grab the seats and not have to worry about leaving my fingerprints in places, which worked out really well for me. Also, before we get too deep into this detail, I just wanted to mention that I am not a professional detailer. These are not instructional videos. I don't feel like I have enough experience yet to really be instructing anyone on how to do things. But if you are looking for instructions, go check out Stauffer's Garage and The Detail Geek. Those are my two absolute favorite detailing channels, and they are actual professionals and know what they're doing. So go check out their channels for legit information because that is where I have learned most of my techniques. So another adjustment I made from my last detail was to use my soft drill brush on all of the leather. Last time I used my detail brush and it took so long to clean all of the seats, and a bunch of you were suggesting just to use a soft drill brush to speed up the process. So I did that throughout this whole car and it really made things go quickly. So thank you so much for that tip because that was super helpful. I did also go ahead and order myself an actual leather brush for cleaning. I've been meaning to get one of those for a while now, and a bunch of you guys suggested it. And so I went ahead and went on Amazon and ordered one, but with all of the stuff going on in the world right now, Amazon's a little slow with their deliveries. So I should be getting that delivery in the next couple weeks or so. It came in like a little set. So I got some new leather cleaner and leather conditioner. And what else was in there? Some like microfiber applicator pads. There's a bunch of leather cleaning stuff in it. So I'm super excited to get that and try it out because one of my upcoming cars has really nice leather seats. So I want to do a really good job cleaning them. So unfortunately on this seat, you don't get to see the extractions because my GoPro decided to have a panic attack and just corrupt that particular file. So super unsatisfying. I'm so sorry. So you guys want to see the back of my head for a couple seconds? Cool camera setup, bro. I don't know what kind of angle I thought I was getting here, but it obviously didn't work. this next clip, go ahead and just listen to my voice and don't stare at the screen. There's a lot of light strobing going on. So sorry about that. But for the carpets, since they weren't actually dirty, what I ended up doing was putting a little bit of the carpet cleaning solution in my extractor and just doing one simple pass over all of the carpet in the back just to freshen things up and make it smell good. But there wasn't any actual extraction work to do, so the carpets were really simple in this car. So I'm guessing you guys noticed that I'm not wearing gloves anymore. Please don't yell at me. I had a crisis of conscience when I was going to order some gloves. I knew I was running out and I only had one set left. And so I was on Amazon trying to order some, but then under every set of gloves, it had that little addition that says something about saving them for healthcare professionals, and it guilted me into not buying any. So that's why we're kind of glove free here at the end of the day. Please don't yell at me. I would normally be wearing gloves, but it's a weird situation. But I did decide that it would probably be best for me to be wearing gloves, even if we're supposed to be reserving them for professionals. So I did actually go to Walmart today and I found some of the black ones that you guys have been recommending in the car cleaning section. Unfortunately, the only ones they had were size large, so they're going to be a little bit baggy, but I just bought a little pack of 20, so hopefully everybody is getting the gloves they need. I just grabbed a small bag, so hopefully it's not too big of a deal, but I thought it would probably be best to be protecting my skin from all the chemicals. So I know I mentioned this in the beginning, but I just want to throw it out there one more time because you guys have been so helpful and important in me learning and growing as a detailer. If you guys have any recommendations or suggestions or tips and tricks, literally anything to make me a better detailer, please let me know down in the comments. I really appreciate all your guys' help. I feel like it would have taken me a lot longer to learn some of this stuff if it wasn't for you guys helping me out so much. So I really appreciate it. Also, nobody worry, I did remember to pull the shifter back and clean the other side of it later. I just didn't get it on camera. So I totally forgot to mention earlier that my pump sprayer was broken. That's why I'm using this spray bottle for all of the carpet solution. It honestly wasn't too big of a deal. I didn't have a lot of extracting to do, so it wasn't a terrible inconvenience to have to use a regular spray bottle, but I really do need to get my pump sprayer replaced because that guy is super helpful. Also, I know there's a lot of debate around whether you should do carpet extractions first or clean all your plastics first, and originally I was on team extraction first, but I've kind of changed my tune since I learned that you do not have to go maximum volume with the drill. I hold it at like low to medium speed, and as you can see, it doesn't spray the soap around really badly. So I don't mind doing the carpets last now. Like I said, you don't have to go all out with the drill brush. That's when you get all that spray everywhere, but you still get a really good scrub going a lot slower with it. So I think that's my preferred method now. So this little foot pad was actually the dirtiest area of carpet in the entire car, which really wasn't that bad at all. I just did a few passes with the extractor over it and it came pretty clean. So all in all, as I said before, this was not a big extraction job. The front areas had a couple spots that I worked on, but honestly, it was just one pass over all of it, and that was just to freshen it up. So super easy extraction this time. A little disappointing from a detailer's perspective, just because extracting is kind of my favorite part, but as far as speed goes, that really took a lot of hours of work out of it for me, which was kind of a nice change. So here is the last thing for the day. As you can see, the sun is setting very quickly on me. Unfortunately, I did not get the whole detail finished in one day. I really wanted to get the entire interior done on that one day. I had a couple things come up during the day which were not planned, and it kind of jammed up a couple hours of my day, but it's all good. I got it finished up in a couple hours the next day, so no biggie. So I almost forget this every time, but don't forget the trunk lid. It's always up in the air, and so I don't think about it, but I haven't forgotten it yet. I just wait till the very last day to do it because it's always one of those last minute things that I remember to do. As I said earlier, my plan from the very beginning was to save the plastic dressing and the leather conditioner till the very end, and I stand by that decision. I only had to put all of this stuff on once and never touched it again, so love this method. And my very, very last step is always the glass. Same reason as I held off on the plastic dressing and leather conditioner. It's just another way to prevent it from getting new smudges and little finger touch marks all over it. So did this last, and this interior detail is complete. Definitely stick around to the end to see the before and after pictures. I think it turned out really nice, and I'm so glad that this sold so quickly and that the new owners got a freshly cleaned vehicle. Thank you guys for watching my video and checking out my channel. If you are new here, definitely subscribe and follow my detailing journey that has just begun. I've been having a lot of fun learning about all of this stuff. Again, thank you guys so much for all of your help. It's been so nice to be surrounded by a community of people that are so nice and so generous. I really appreciate everything you guys say in the comments. Your encouragement means the world to me, so thank you, thank you, thank you. Alrighty guys, I'm out of here and I will see you next week. Bye.